Silicium is an element that's transferred from a pregnant woman to the newborn baby, and the baby uses it to grow bone, cartilage, muscle, and become a human being. So the mother transfers the bulk of silicium to the baby. Now, silicium should not be confused with selenium. There is absolutely no relationship between these two products. We leach out silicium every day from the day we are born to the day that we die through urine and perspiration. So we cannot hold the silicium that we have inherited at birth in our body. And there are traces of silicium present in certain food, such as long beans or haricot beans, bananas, oats, and hops, beer. But they are not absorbable by the human digestive system. So even if we drink oceans of beer, and if we eat rooms of bananas and haricot beans, we will only get a minuscule of the silicium in our digestive system, because the bulk of it will not get absorbed. So therefore, what did the human being do for so many millions of years? How did they survive? Now, one thing which is important is that nobody can get an overdose of silicium. Your body will take as much as it needs, and it releases the rest through urine and perspiration. So there is no danger of overdose for anybody. Now, what are the problems that the human being faces by leaching out this valuable element daily through urine and perspiration? The first thing that happens, we start having inflammation and pain. Some people are diagnosed with rheumatism, arthritis, but not everybody. The bones become brittle. We start having broken veins, broken capillaries, thread veins, and some people are diagnosed with osteoporosis, but not everybody. Nails can become brittle and dry. Hair starts falling out and becomes dry and loses its manageability. And the skin all over, from your body to your face, will start having fine lines, which are called dehydration lines. And if we don't look after it, it turns into wrinkles. And that's actually called aging. So, all these things can happen to us because every day we are leaching out silicium through urine and perspiration. In 1960, a group of scientists got together and they wrote over 2,500 research papers on silicium and the benefit of silicium on human health. They tried to make a tablet or a powder or a lotion or a potion that the human body could actually take and absorb and benefit from it. But unfortunately, they failed. So they decided to document and to put their 2,500 research papers on a medical database called PubMed. And any doctor, pharmacist, nutritionist, any medical person can go on the PubMed and actually read these research papers. About 20 years ago, the EU government contacted a laboratory, which I'm not sure if it comes across in the camera, called Dexsil Lab in Belgium. This was a running laboratory. The it was a working laboratory. And they said, we have got all the research papers. We don't want you to spend any time or money on research. All we want you to do is to provide us with a liquid, a powder, a gel, that the human body can actually absorb this valuable element called silicium. So the scientists, some of them alive from 1960, some new scientists, got together, they started thinking, and they all worked for Dexsil Lab in Belgium. They knew from the research papers that silicium naturally is found in sand. It's very difficult to absorb silicium from sand, and that's why the 1960 project to make something that the body would absorb failed, but the research was done. So they thought, how else can they get the silicium? Because obviously we get the bulk of our silicium when we are born from the pregnant mother, and that is the best form of getting silicium in this world. But then what's the other way? There must be other ways. So they analyzed that not only human beings need silicium, but certain plants also, for survival, need silicium, especially stinging nettle and horsetail. So the scientists actually decided that if they analyze these two herbs or plants, they might be able to get closer to making this silicium for human being. They realized that the plants absorb the silicium from sand. In their leaves, they convert it to a soluble format that the plant can use. So part of the laboratory process was now done by the plant, obviously for their own use, not for us. So the scientists took the leaves of these plants, brought it to Dexsil Lab in Belgium, and with a patented formula made liquids that the human being drinks and variety of gels that I will go over when I get to it, that we apply on the skin of the body. In this formula, the molecules have been made with a patented formula, very, very small, smaller than a pinhead. And the molecules do not polymerize, so they do not attach together, means they don't become a big molecule. If it's a big molecule, it's difficult for the human digestive system and skin to absorb and benefit from it. So these molecules, which are very small, stay in small bits separate. They don't attach to form a big molecule. And that is the underlying success of this brand, Dexsil Lab in Belgium. So as soon as human being drinks the liquid and applies the gels on the skin, the human body absorbs the silicium molecule. And the key is absorption. Because if you don't absorb something, no matter how much of it you eat or you apply, it goes through the system and out. The key to anything is absorption. So therefore, the human body absorbs close to 100% the silicium molecule out of the liquids that we drink and out of the gels that we apply externally on the skin. But then, what is so important about silicium? Why go through all this money and research for silicium? The first benefit of silicium to the human body is that silicium is a natural anti-inflammatory. Silicium naturally reduces inflammation of any type in the human body. Inflammation can be rheumatism, arthritis, osteoarthritis, any form of inflammation because we have had an accident, a broken neck, a broken arm, a broken knee, a broken wrist, anything broken. Inflammation can also be because of surgery. When people have plastic surgery, they are inflamed. If you've had cancer and they've cut your breast or half of your breast, you're inflamed. If you've had hip or knee operation, you're inflamed. Plus, any inflammation from the ulcers, digestive inflammation, irritable bowel syndrome, which is IBS for short. Hepatitis responds very well to silicium because hepatitis is inflammation of the liver, and silicium naturally will reduce these inflammations that I've explained. When you reduce inflammation, you reduce pain. And if it's a physical inflammation, once you've reduced inflammation, you reduce pain, the patient starts moving better. This is one of the most important aspects of these liquids and gels. If you drink it long enough, it also prevents future inflammation. Now we all know that there are millions of drugs in pharmacies and in chemists worldwide, but all drugs have side effects. Even an aspirin or a Nurofen actually causes digestive problems. People who take too many drugs, they start having ulcers, acid, constipation, because drugs can inhibit the formation of natural bacteria to digest food, and therefore you will have other implications. This product works, but is not a drug. As I said, it's organic and it comes from the leaves of certain plants such as nettle and horsetail. So there is no drug in these products whatsoever. The second benefit of silicium, we talked about inflammation, reduction of pain, aiding mobility, is that the silicium, especially when you drink it, it mixes with the calcium in the body and it allows the body to regenerate its own bone and broken veins. So when you absorb silicium internally, your body responds. And this is by rebuilding bone, broken veins, broken capillaries, and thread veins. We have had very, very high rates of success in short spaces of time on osteoporosis. And all this has been documented in various health magazines, such as Natural Lifestyle magazine, in Health Science Institute, which is a newspaper written for practitioners by 12 panel of doctors, and in Choice Health and Wellbeing magazine, and issues of Optimum Nutrition magazine. These are verified cases which have been verified by their doctors, by hospitals, by osteopaths, by chiropractors, and by the patients. So we talked about rebuilding bone and vein and overcoming osteoporosis. Anything that rebuilds bone and vein strengthens the nails and allows your hair to be more manageable. It does not make you grow new hair. So if you're bald, you stay bald. But if you have even 2 hair on your head, you actually maintain that hair. Now, the third benefit of silicium, when we drink the liquid and when we apply the gel on the skin, is that the body, on absorption of the molecule, responds by generating natural collagen. Collagen is a protein that holds us together. It's like a glue. Collagen is important in the skin, not just on the face, but on the body, breast, chest, arms, legs, everywhere. So when you drink the liquid, either of the liquids, and apply the gel, which has to be applied on damp skin, clean damp skin, the body will naturally generate its own collagen. If somebody is young and they still don't have lines, within 3 weeks of the liquid and the gel, their skin becomes very plump, very fresh, very hydrated, and they look like they've had treatments or a holiday or something. And it delays wrinkles. Why? Because you're constantly generating natural collagen in your body, not just on the face, all over the skin, everywhere. And if you're old and you have deep lines, you should do a before picture and then an after picture. Because every week that you take a photo in between these beginning and end, you see that the depth of the line reduces. The skin becomes plump and hydrated and fresh, and the skin becomes firm. Because every day you are generating natural collagen in your body. Collagen is firming and hydrating on the skin, but it's not working on the muscle. So if somebody is old and the neck muscle has collapsed, or the eyelid has collapsed, you're not going to get the muscle up. That is done with other beauty treatments, such as non-surgical lifts that we do with electric currents. The silicium allows you to generate collagen to work on the skin, not on firming the muscle. But collagen is not just for the skin. Collagen is in the arteries of the heart. So by generating your own natural collagen, you're actually working on arteries of the heart. It's very good for unclogging the cholesterol in the heart. And it's used heavily for heart patients, heart attack, pre and after. Collagen is in the cartilage of the knee. So if you have problem with your knees or your hips, especially by drinking the liquid and applying the gel on damp skin, you are rebuilding the collagen, which means rebuilds the cartilage. And therefore you can actually cure a patient. So the collagen is very important both for health and for skin and obviously looks and beauty. The other aspect or benefit of silicium is that silicium is a carrier. Silicium acts as a driver of a train. Imagine the passengers in the train can't get out and can't get in. In other words, the doors are locked. So you're sitting on this train and the driver is silicium, but the doors have got a fault. They don't open, so you can't get out and you can't get in. Wherever that silicium goes in your body, the passengers go with it. What do I mean by passengers? In one of our liquids, which is called the Arthritis, the products have two names because Dexsil Laboratory, which is based in Belgium, makes two brands. One brand is the Vitasil brand, the other brand is the Dexsil brand with the name of the laboratory, same name. So when I specify the names of products, I will give you two names. This is Arthritis liquid or articulation liquid. Both are the same product, but different brands. In this product, we have MSM, glucosamine, and chondroitin. Now, glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM are the passengers of the train, and the driver is silicium. Wherever silicium goes in the human body, the passengers go with it. So, what happens is, because silicium is a very small molecule, and it's unpolymerized, it doesn't stick together to form a big molecule, it stays small and separate. As soon as you drink this liquid, you absorb the ingredients with the help of the silicium. Now we have hundreds of tablets for glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM on the market, but not many people have been cured by those. Partly because they cannot get close to 100% absorption and hence benefit from those products. But in this case, which is a liquid that you drink, the silicium carries the glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM into the body. And it's the silicium that allows the absorption close to 100% in the body. That is underlined in red, that's key. And that's where you get the benefit from everything. So we're on the last point and we'll move into the products. Silicium acts as a carrier, and most of our gels, which I will be talking about, have got silicium but with added ingredients. And the reason the gels work and they actually get absorbed close to 100%, and that's why you get the benefit, is because silicium carries those ingredients deep into your body. Whether you drink the liquid or apply the gel is the same thing. And you actually benefit from those ingredients as well. And that is a very important point about silicium. And last is that silicium balances, provides an equilibrium in the cells of the human body. All of us are made of billions and billions of cells. Each cell in our body has a negative charge and a positive charge. When somebody is ill, any illness, the negative and the positive of the cells are unbalanced. When you drink the liquid, what happens is it brings an equilibrium. So even though we're not making a claim on all diseases, it actually helps with many other diseases that Dexsil Lab hasn't made a claim, such as thyroid problem, menopausal problems, hormonal imbalance, diabetes, and many other problems. But we cannot make a claim. So all we say is that it helps with other ailments and diseases by providing an equilibrium between the negative and the positive charge of the cells. Any contraindications? There are no contraindications at all on this product. If anything, as I just told you, it brings an equilibrium to the negative and the positive charge of the cell. So actually, if you are taking medication for other diseases, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, menopausal problems, any problem, you find that your other problems will actually get better, but I'm not making a claim on other problems. So there is no contraindication with you taking your liquid first thing in the morning before breakfast and then taking your medication. The only thing that we say is a pregnant woman, whilst they're pregnant and whilst they're breastfeeding, should not drink the liquid. They can still use all the gels on the skin, but they cannot drink the liquid whilst being pregnant and whilst breastfeeding. However, after they finish breastfeeding, or if they're not breastfeeding after the pregnancy, they need to drink 45 ml a day of the clear silicium liquid at least for 3 months, because the pregnant woman transfers most of her silicium when they give birth to the newborn baby. And that's why women after pregnancy are dehydrated, hair falls out, nails become dry and brittle, and in general they're very sluggish. People think it's because of lack of sleep, but it's actually, apart from sleep, it's because they've lost majority of their silicium to the newborn baby when the baby is born. So the only contraindication is liquids should not be drunk by pregnant women and if they're breastfeeding. Afterwards, they need a lot of it. We are now going into individual products. The first product that I'm going to talk about is the one I showed you before, which is called Arthritis liquid, or the other name, articulation liquid. This is silicium with glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM. This is the liquid that we give to any patient who has got osteoporosis, arthritis, inflammation of any type, osteoarthritis, or any form of inflammatory condition, as I said before, because of IBS, ulcers, hepatitis, anybody who's had an operation, anybody who's had a broken limb of any form, or in general inflammation and pain. So this is more of your cure. Now the way you drink this, each bottle comes with a measuring cap, and the measuring cap has got a measurement on it. So everybody should drink first 15 ml on an empty stomach before breakfast, a second 15 ml anytime during the day, but doesn't matter if you've eaten lunch or any snack, and a third 15 ml before sleeping, doesn't matter if you've had dinner or food. That means 3 15 meals per day. That's 45 ml a day. Each bottle is 500 ml. 500 ml divided by 45 ml gives you 11 days. So you have to drink one bottle for the first 11 days, the second bottle for the second 11 days, and the third bottle for the third 11 days. So it means in 33 days you drink 3 bottles. That is very important because all of us are leaching out silicium every day through urine and perspiration. And there is no tablet, no food, no way of us actually topping up the amount that we're leaching out every day. So when people start with these liquids, they have to drink 45 ml a day, which means a bottle every 11 days, which means 3 bottles the first month. That is crucial. If people have got long-term arthritis, rheumatism, osteoporosis, or long-term problems of IBS, hepatitis, or gastric problems, any inflammation which is long-term, has been there for a long time, we cannot specify for how long they have to drink 3 bottles a month. But the patient will feel themselves that their inflammation comes down, their pain comes down. And if it's a physical problem, they move better. If it's a digestive problem, they will feel better. Once the patient feels better, you can reduce the same bottle to 15 ml before breakfast and 15 ml before sleeping. That means 30 ml a day. And once they're completely well, you can just give them 15 ml before breakfast for life. But why for life? Because you're leaching out silicium every day through urine and perspiration, and you have no other way of absorbing this silicium from food, from tablets, from vitamins, or anything. So therefore, everybody needs that silicium liquid daily. Now, the second point is that what if somebody doesn't have long-term history of arthritis or osteoporosis or any form of inflammation? They've just had an accident and they're inflamed, or they've just had cosmetic surgery, they're inflamed, or part of the limb has been cut due to some medical condition. Those people haven't got a root, they don't have a disease which is rooted. It's purely because of an operation or an accident. Those people should, in general, we cannot be specific, cure within 4 to 6 weeks. But they have to drink the first month 3 bottles, possibly the second month 3 bottles. At that point, that patient should be better. From the knowledge we have and from the experiences we've had, patients without background, deep background of inflammation, arthritis, rheumatism, and generally gastric inflammation for a long time, generally get better after 4 to 6 weeks. So those patients have 3 bottles the first month, possibly 3 bottles the second month, cut down to 30 ml. Once they're cured, they can actually put this bottle away and move to our clear liquid, which is just silicium without anything added. So, I just summarize. People with long-term history of rheumatism, arthritis, osteoporosis, inflammatory condition, hepatitis, ulcers, IBS, have to drink this liquid longer. But I cannot specify how long. They will feel better. You reduce it to 30 ml, reduce it to 15 ml before breakfast, keep them on this bottle for life. People who've got the pain, the inflammation, because of accident, because of operation, but not because long-term history of problem, they can actually stick to this clear liquid, which is pure silicium. And they start, preferably, again, 3 bottles the first month, and thereafter just 15 ml before breakfast for life. So this is more your prevention and maintenance liquid. This one is your cure. And we only have 2 liquids. Now, in conjunction with this liquid, we have got a gel by the same name. It's called Dexsil Same name as the actual bottle or articulation gel, and it's got exactly the same ingredients. It's got the silicium with MSM, glucosamine and chondroitin. The liquid we drink, the gel we apply on the body on damp skin. So what we do, we take a towel, we make it wet. We apply it on the area where you've got the pain and inflammation. Then we don't dry it. We apply this gel just on the area, if it's your knee, if it's your hip, if it's your neck, just to apply, but you don't rub or massage. You just literally apply. Within 2 seconds, the gel gets absorbed. Why? Because the molecule is very small, and the molecules stay small by not sticking together. They don't polymerize. So as soon as you apply it on your wet skin, it gets absorbed within 2 seconds. And instantly, the patient, no matter how much pain they have, they feel that the pain has gone down. It happens within 2 seconds. Now, a good question is, why drink the liquid and apply the gel at the same time? Why not just do one or the other? Because the liquid works everywhere internally. It does everything that I told you in the benefits of silicium. The gel actually works locally, and it stops the patient from going for Nurofen, for aspirin, for Tramadol, or all the painkillers. Once the patient has got less pain on the area where they felt pain before, they don't need painkillers. So the combination of the liquid and the gel provides very good but very fast results. People who take one or the other, not the correct approach. We have to do it together. Now, people get to a point where because they're getting better and because the inflammation has gone down and the pain has gone down, they may not need the gel anymore. But everybody needs to continue with the liquid. Why? Because you're leaching out silicium every day through urine and perspiration. And you can't get it from food or tablets or vitamins or anywhere. So the liquid stays for life. The gel is only used whilst you've got the inflammation and the pain. Once you're cured, you can put the gel away. We have 2 gels. One of them is with glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. The other one has got anti-inflammatory essential oils. Now, it doesn't mean that when you take the contents out of the tube, it's oil. No, it's a gel. All of the products are in gel form. But the silicium carries the anti-inflammatory essential oils deep into the body and allows it to get absorbed. But why have 2 gels? Well, you don't have to buy both. You can either buy this or you can buy this. The results are reduction of inflammation, reduction of pain. Which one you choose is a personal choice. But these 2 gels, whether you buy this or that, need to be used in conjunction with the liquid. You cannot cure arthritis just by a gel. It needs the liquid. Very important to understand this. Now, moving on to the next gel, which is also has to be used in conjunction with articulative liquid or articulation liquid, which is silicium with MSM, glucosamine, chondroitin. Anybody who's got broken veins, broken capillaries or thread veins, should drink 3 bottles of this liquid the first month, 3 bottles the second month, and so forth, until the veins have rebuilt themselves. But they also need to apply the Vitasil, the gel called Vitasil, or the second name is vein, on the areas where they've got the blue veins, or the broken veins, or the broken capillaries, or the thread veins. How often you apply the gel? 2 or 3 times a day on damp skin. If the patient cannot go into the shower, take a wet towel, dampen the area, do not dry. Apply the gel, do not rub. The gels are not for massage. You apply and you leave. The molecules are very small, they penetrate within 2 seconds and they get absorbed. One thing whilst I'm explaining this, do they leave any residue on your clothes? Do you have to go and wash your clothes or dry clean your clothes? No. As I said, the whole idea of silicium is the molecule is very small. it carries everything you add to it very deep. Once you touch your skin after 2 seconds, there's nothing there. So it will not make your clothes smelly or dirty or need a washing or dry cleaning. So the vein and these liquid again are combined together. Not a good idea just to use the gel without the liquid. The liquid obviously does a lot for you, but if you actually have broken veins, you need to use the gel locally and drink the liquid internally. The next product that I'm going to come on to is a product called PowerSil, which also has chondroitin. The other name of this product is Sport. As I said, the company makes two brands, Vitasil, which has its own names, and Dexsil, which is the name of the laboratory in Belgium, which has its own name. This product can be used alone, even if you have people who are skeptic about the liquid. If you dampen the area and you apply this gel, don't massage, just apply, within 2 seconds the gel gets absorbed and it opens any form of muscular cramp instantly. So this gel is used for any kind of muscular cramp, be it from football, cricket, tennis, golf, volleyball, basketball, any form of lifting heavy boxes, moving house, if you're bending like this on top of the computer, if you're a dentist or a hairdresser or a shopkeeper and you're bending all the time. Any kind of muscular cramp and pain, any. If you make it damp and apply the gel without massaging and rubbing, it actually opens up the cramp instantly. And it does have chondroitin. And if somebody is skeptic about the liquid and whether silicium works, provided they have a muscular pain, if you give them a sample of this product called PowerSil or Sport, they will understand how it works and why it works. They will believe you. So you can initially just sell this gel by itself, even though the person is not taking the liquid. But everybody needs the liquid because you lose your silicium daily and you can't get it from food or tablets. The next gel I'm going to come on is actually the silicium gel. Now, this gel and this liquid have got the same molecule. They are both pure silicium with nothing added. The liquid is for drinking, the gel is applied on damp skin. Again, the question, why drink the liquid and apply the gel? Why not do one or the other? The reason is the same thing as I said before. The liquid goes internally. It does everything that I said, if you rewind the tape, before. So it does everything from reduction of inflammation, reduction of pain, works on bones, so prevention of osteoporosis, broken veins, nails, hair, collagen production, firming and hydration of the skin, equilibrium of the negative and the positive charge in the cells if you're ill. It does everything. But if a patient wants very quick results on the skin, especially very good for people who are working in the health or cosmetic surgery or cosmetic surgeons or beauty industry, and they very quickly want to improve the condition of the skin very rapidly, what we do is we actually wash the area. At the moment, let's talk about the face and the neck and the décolleté, which is the chest area. If you wash the area, preferably with an oil-free wash, means a wash that has no oil, and you make sure there's no cream, oil or makeup on your face. So there is no makeup, no oil, no cream on the skin. The skin is clean and damp. You avoid the eyes and you apply this gel mixed with any of your beauty serums or creams. Now, very important to understand this. You put the size of a 50p coin of this gel in the palm of your hand. You put your beauty serum or beauty cream, whatever brand you're using, I don't know, inside the gel. You just swirl it once or twice, and whilst your skin is still clean and damp, apply everywhere on the face, avoiding the eyes, on the neck, on the décolleté. You can also use it on the arms, on the hips, on the legs, on the thighs, because this gel is for face and for body. The only place I recommend don't use it is around your eyes. Now, as I said, if you're very old, it's a good idea to have a before application of this product's picture and weekly pictures until the end. What happens happens is you see your skin is becoming fresher, plumper, more hydrated, and the depth of the line is coming down. And this happens very visibly. And you get to a point where you might be 80, 90 years old, but your skin is plump, fresh, hydrated, full of collagen inside, and no wrinkles. But if you've got sagging neckline, sagging lip, that is a different issue. You need to go to a beauty therapist who can solve that problem with machinery, with electrical currents. If you're young and you want to preserve your looks, and you want to look very fresh, very hydrated, very firm, same procedure. You wash the face day and night. Make sure there is no oil, no cream, no makeup on your skin. Apply your own eye cream, avoid the eyes, put the size of a 50p coin of the Silicium gel in the palm of your hand. Mix your beauty serum inside the gel. Wear it twice, apply on the wet skin and the neck or the body, avoid the eyes. Definitely put cream on top of it. Question people ask me, if I'm using the Silicium gel, why do I still need my beauty serum or cream? Answer, Silicium works from inside. Silicium goes in very rapidly, allows the body to naturally generate its own collagen. But it has no cream or oil or SPF for the sun. So if you just apply the Silicium, what happens is you have no protection, no barrier from the external forces of the world we live in. This product is actually a natural generation of collagen. It cannot provide that barrier you need from the environment. Very important that you do it with your serum and cream in the palm of your hand and apply on wet skin. One thing I mentioned before I get to the next products, collagen can only be applied, can only be used if you generate it yourself. You cannot put collagen from outside inside. Collagen cream, collagen mask, collagen serum doesn't work. Collagen is a very big molecule, it's a protein. You can put it from outside inside. The only way, apart from drinking Silicium and applying Silicium gel, where you generate your own collagen, is to have collagen injection in the wrinkles. That works, because you're injecting the collagen into the line. But you cannot inject collagen into your gum, into your arteries, into your cartilage. So it's more of a beauty aspect. Collagen injection is for beauty. But by drinking Silicium and by applying the various gels, you're actually generating collagen, partly on the skin for beauty, but you're helping your arteries, you're helping your cartilage, and you're helping your gums and the internal organs of your body. So you get the 100% result. And collagen liquids and powders and tablets are a sham. They cannot get absorbed through the digestive system. We've got various articles written independently by doctors which prove that collagen liquids and tablets and powders, which are sold everywhere, cannot actually be absorbed by the digestive system. So therefore they're a sham. The only two ways that the human body can have collagen is either injection, which is more into wrinkles and is done for beauty, and you have to do it every 3 months, because once you lose the collagen through your digestive system, you need more collagen injection. But the best and the most natural way is by drinking Silicium and applying Silicium gel, where every day that you apply, you generate your own collagen. This is a very important point. Moving on from the Silicium gel, I'm going to go to a very important gel which is called the peau. In French, peau is skin. Now, this gel has got the same name under the Vitasil brand and the Dexsil brand, so it's called peau or skin. This is a very, very good gel for any kind of stitches, wounds, surgeries or bruises. I don't know if it comes across. I have got a patient who's had breast cancer, and this patient had half of her breast removed horizontally. So the nipple and half the breast was cut horizontally. You can see a breast horizontally with some marks. This patient was drinking the Arthritis or articulation liquid to reduce inflammation and pain. But once she had the operation And once half the breast and the nipple was removed horizontally, obviously she was in bandages. When the bandage came off, I gave her a tube of PO, or skin. We applied it on the wound, on damp skin, and we didn't rub it. Within a very short space of time, the deep wound and the cut, which was done by a very big surgery in a hospital, turned into a scab. We continued using the PO gel until the scab dropped. She was then left with a white line, which I don't know if you can see on my hand, but her white line is coming from across one breast to another and is wider because the knife was cut wider. Now this gel is phenomenal for any kind of stitch, any kind of bruise, any kind of cut or trauma to the skin. It doesn't have to be a fresh operation. It can be an operation you had 10, 20, 30 years ago. Because what it does, it actually allows an enormous amount of collagen to be produced. And if it's a fresh wound, it forms a scab. You continue using the gel until the scab drops, and then you're just left with a white line. The length and the width of the line depends on the length and the width of the knife. But if it's, imagine you've had a cesarean 20 years ago and you've still got the mark and the stitches. If you apply this gel on old stitches, it will actually melt the stitch, the excess skin. And even on an old stitch, it leaves you with just the white line. So you can't get rid of the white line, but it doesn't have the ugly effect of skin coming off or stitch showing. You're just left with a fine white line, which is much better than skin coming out of your body. The other benefit of this gel called PO is on bruises. I've had many cases where my clients have been bruised because of accident or falling down. And within a very, very short space of time, it removes the bruise. If you have a burn, you burn yourself. If you clean the area and you apply this gel on damp skin 2 or 3 times a day, you will see that very quickly it forms a scab. Continue using the gel, the PO, until the scab drops, no sign. The only time you will have a white line is if you've been cut by a knife. If there is no knife and it's just a bruise or a burn or an old stitch, you basically just cure it within a few short days because you generate an enormous amount of collagen. And this gel has actually got antiseptic properties in it, so it actually doesn't allow the infection to spread. It's used heavily post-surgery in hospitals in all the Arab countries, from Lebanon to Jordan to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, everywhere. In Belgium, in France, and obviously now in England. Phenomenal gel for any kind of cut, bruise, or stitch, or even old stitch. The next product that I'm going to come on to is our anti-pigmentation. Now, again, because the company is Belgian, they use a lot of French words. This gel is called anti-tache. Anti-tache means anti-pigmentation. So this gel is used on any brown marks that you have on the face, on the hands, on the chest, or on the body because of sun, because of age, or liver. When we get older and we go into the sun, the liver cannot produce enough melanin. Melanin is what gives you that brown color. We call it tan. Once you're older, because your liver becomes weak, it actually produces bursts of tan, which means a part of your skin is brown, a part is white. And that happens, especially to men and women, after a certain age. It can happen to young people as well if they've got liver problem. So this gel is applied on a clean damp skin. Again, you need to wash, no makeup, no oil. Avoid the eyes. You can use it anywhere on the face, on the neck, on the chest, on the hands. And again, you apply this gel in the palm of your hand, mix it with your serum and cream, apply it together. Because as I explained to you, these gels have no cream or SPF in them. So if you apply the gel, it gets absorbed within 2 seconds, no residue. So you have to mix the facial gels with your beauty serum and cream. Very important. And this unifies the complexion. It makes the darker color go lighter. One issue, this is not for birthmarks. If you have a mark that you were born with, this will not solve the problem. and this is not a whitening agent for dark skin. So dark people, don't buy this to become white. This is only for pigmentation only. The next gel, which is one of our very successful gels, especially for acne, hormonal acne and oily skin, is Bouton. Bouton is French for acne, oily skin spots. Now, this gel is obviously a gel, so it's clear, there's no color. Now, men get spots as well as women. So men don't like to have product on their face because they don't want people to see. So because it's a clear gel, they can apply it on the spot without anybody seeing that there's something on their face. It actually has silicium in it. And silicium, as I said, reduces inflammation. So imagine you have a spot and the spot is raised. Now, the first thing that happens is that the silicium flattens the spot. What does that mean? It reduces the inflammation of the spot because silicium is anti-inflammatory. The third thing that it does, it actually heals and dries the spot because this gel has got specific ingredients to heal and dry the acne spots or oily skin spots or hormonal spots. So a spot that might take weeks and days to go down, within 2, maximum 3 days, will flatten and dry. But the most important aspect is the fourth one. Silicium is a natural generator of collagen. And when you apply the gel, you locally generate collagen. It means you won't have any marks left by the spot. A lot of people, after a long time, they cure their spots, but they're left with marks from the spots. And they have to pay a fortune to get rid of those marks. If you only use this gel 2 or 3 times a day on a clean, damp skin, on the spots, if you're covered with spots everywhere, if you have the odd spot just on the spot, you immediately see that the raised spot flattens, the spot dries, the spot goes, no mark is left. It's a fantastic gel. We've given it to plastic surgeons to be tested. Many of my clients, I run a health and beauty business called Princess Soraya Salon, which is in London NW3 6NE, and I've been using these products in my beauty salon for patients who come to me for skin problems for over 4 years. And I have got over 15 live testimonials signed by patients about the benefit of this gel. It's the best gel on the market without any drugs. So that's the Bouton. Now, the next gel I'm going to talk about is Onglet. Again, in French, Onglet means nails. And people apply this over the nail and under the nail. So you apply it over the nail and under the nail. You wash your hands. You apply the gel over and under 2 or 3 times a day, and very quickly the nails start growing very fast and very hard. Another good product to actually convert the people who don't believe in silicium. If somebody says, I don't believe in anything you say, silicium doesn't work, touch their nails, see if they have weak nails. Offer them a tube of Onglet or nails. Tell them to wash their hands 2 or 3 times a day, apply the gel over the nail and under the nail. Within 2 to 3 weeks, their nails become so strong that they'll come back and say, what was that? Then you can explain to them about the rest of the liquids and the gels. So this is specifically for weak nails. And the other gel that we're talking about is Respirasil or breathing gel. Respirasil or breathing gel. This gel is very good for people who snore, who have asthma, and who have general breathing problems. So 2 or 3 times a day, you put the gel under the nose, not inside the nose, under, in between the chest, the breast, and on the back, between the 2 shoulder blades. And what it does, opens up the sinuses, so it helps with breathing, avoids snoring, and helps with asthma problems. As I said, I've been using these products for over 4 years in Princess Soraya Salon in London NW3 6NE. I have got my own website, princesssorayasalon.co.uk. There's a button on the top which says testimonials, and all my clients who have been using these products, depending which problem they've had, they've used different products, their testimonials are there and they're all verified. And I have seen such good results from all these products for treating various problems that I have just seen positive and no side effects. And there are numerous magazines which I showed in the beginning, Natural Lifestyle, which are writing about these products. You have got the Choice Health and Wellbeing, which comes out every 2 months, and they regularly write about different aspects of Dexsil Vitasil Silicium. Optimum Nutrition regularly writes about these products, and this newspaper, which is a very prominent newspaper for Harley Street and for doctors, is written by a panel of 12 doctors. They did 9 months of research on these products, and they wrote a very important article in this newspaper, which came out in July 2012. And all this is on the website either princesssoridasalon.co.uk or hdfi, all one word, .co.uk. There will be another article published by the panel of 12 doctors in December issue of this newspaper, and that will be also put on both websites. Thank you very much.